Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle a puzzle that trips up even the most experienced investors. We're talking about the critical, and I mean critical, difference between a company's reported profit and the actual real cash it has in the bank. They might sound like the same thing, but trust me, they're not. And understanding why is an absolute game changer.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Can a company that's posting really healthy profits, the kind that make headlines, actually go bankrupt? Can it just run out of money and shut down? It seems kind of crazy, right?
Well, the answer, and this might shock you, is a big, resounding yes. A profitable company can absolutely go out of business. How? It all comes down to what we call the illusion of profit.
And that brings us right here. You see, that profit number you see on a company's income statement, well, it isn't always cash that a company can actually use. You can't pay your employees or your rent with an accounting entry.
Here's the key takeaway. Profit is really just an accounting number. It's a concept. It includes stuff like sales made on credit, which is money you haven't even received yet. But cash is the cold, hard reality. It's what's actually sitting in the company's bank account ready to be spent.
So, how do we get from that fuzzy accounting number to the real, tangible cash? Well, we have to go on a little journey. And our map for this journey is something called the cash flow statement. Think of it like a bridge that connects the world of paper profits to the world of real cash.
This journey really has three main steps. First, we have to adjust for things that aren't actually cash expenses. Then we account for any big investing or financing activities. But it's that third step, adjusting for changes in something called working capital, that's often the most important, and frankly, where a lot of the trouble is hiding. So let's really zoom in on this working capital puzzle. This is where the real story of a company's financial health is usually found. And it's all about understanding three key moving parts. First up, we've got receivables. It's a simple idea, really. This is just the money that customers owe the company. You sold them a product, but they haven't paid you yet. Think of it as a pile of IOUs from your clients. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. If a company's receivables go up, it means they're making a lot of sales on credit. The profit looks great, but the cash is actually blocked. It's stuck in those IOUs. On the flip side, if receivables go down, it means the company is collecting on old debts, and that cash is finally being released back into the business.
There's this powerful saying that just nails this idea perfectly. The non-arrival of money is also its departure. It means that even though the cash never came in, by not collecting it, it's as good as gone from your daily operations.
The second piece of our puzzle is inventory. This is all the stuff a company has made or bought that's just sitting there, waiting to be sold. It's basically cash that's been turned into boxes on a warehouse shelf.
And just like with receivables, the direction matters. If a company's inventory piles up, that means it spent real cash to make or buy all those goods. And now that cash is blocked, it's tied up. But if inventory goes down, it means they're selling off that stock, turning those boxes back into cash and releasing it for use.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, payables. This is just the opposite of receivables. It's the money that the company owes to its suppliers. These are the bills that the company has to pay, eventually. Now you have to flip your thinking here. This is super important. When payables increase, it means the company is delaying payments to its suppliers. It's holding on to its cash longer. In effect, it's using the supplier's money to run its business, which releases cash for them. But when payables decrease, it means they've paid their bills and cash has flowed out the door. And this leads to the perfect counterpoint to our earlier quote. The non-departure of money is its arrival. By holding on to your cash and not paying a bill right away, you're effectively keeping that cash in your own pocket. It's like an inflow. Okay, enough theory, right? Let's see what this all looks like with some real-world examples. Let's compare a company's reported profit with the actual cash it's generating. First up, here's a healthy company. Look at this. They reported an operating profit of $231 million and generated $227 million in cash from operations. That gap is tiny. This is a sign of a really well-run business. They are masters at turning their paper profits into cold, hard cash. But now, look at this. A completely different story. This company is reporting a massive operating profit, $441 million. Looks amazing, right? But their cash from operations is negative $68 million. They are burning cash just to stay open. This, my friends, is a giant red flag. Profit on paper, but a disaster in the bank.
But wait, our journey isn't over yet. To find what savvy investors call the real treasure, we need to take one final step. We need to find the free cash flow.
And the formula is actually really simple. You just take that cash from operations we've been talking about, and you subtract capital expenditures, or CapEx. And all CapEx is the money the company spends on big, long-term stuff, like building a new factory or buying new equipment to help it grow in the future.
So why is this number the real treasure? Because this is the cash that's left over after everything, after paying for today's operations and investing for tomorrow's growth. This is the fun money. They can use it to pay down debt, give dividends back to shareholders like you, or just save it for a rainy day. It's all about flexibility and strength.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. I want to give you a simple toolkit, a few key questions you can ask to cut through all the noise and really understand what's going on inside a company. So first, ask yourself, is this company consistently turning its profit into real cash? Look for that gap between operating profit and cash from operations. If it's big, you have to ask why. Are their receivables getting out of control? Is inventory piling up? And most importantly, is that real treasure, the free cash flow, growing over time? That's your ultimate sign of a healthy, thriving business.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you're looking at a company, are you going to stop at that flashy profit number on the front page? Or are you going to dig a little deeper and find the real cash? Because now you know, that's where the real story is always told.